Hi, boys and girls. I'm going to show you how to make a Jamboard for your sensory receptor diagram. There's two ways that you can do it. You can go into your Google Drive, and if you look down, you can find Jamboard here. You click on it. And if you add the plus, it will create a new one. Or another way you can do it is if you go into your Drive. Let me just X out of those so I don't have too many tabs open. If you go under New, sorry, this is being so slow. I'm waiting for all of the options to come down. Okay, here they are. And if you go under More, you'll see Jamboard here, and you can select that. And then you can rename it. Just click on it. We'll call it Sensory Receptor Diagram. Okay, and let's say we're going to make a diagram for the nociceptor nociceptors. So this kind of gives you the image of a pen, eraser, moving things, pictures, shapes, text. We're going to go to the add images, and I have a few images in mind that I would like to use. So it gives you several ways that you can add pictures. You can either upload them, do a Google image search, Google Drives and Photos. So I'm going to do the Google image search for touching hot pan on stove, and I'll find a few things. And I think the one I wanted to use is this one for Grandpa's hand when he touches it. So we'll select that. And you can adjust these by doing the arrows to move it. I'm just going to put that off to the side. And then I want to do the spinal cord next. So say I do a Google image search for spinal cord. And I may get a lot of choices. And they're all great. It's just, I'm not really finding, I wanted it to be just like the gizmo. And I see some things that are similar that I like, but I really wanted to show the pathway of the gizmo. So one thing that you can do is you can actually go to the gizmo and see how I have this pathway that I really, really like, showing how there's two pathways that it can go through the spinal cord back to cause the reflex, or go through the spinal cord up to the somatosensory cortex. So what I can do is I can do a screenshot of it. And the way you do a screenshot is you're going to hold Control Shift, and there's a button right above the number 6 on your Chromebook. You have to do all three at one time, but what happens is you got to get your mouse positioned exactly where you want it to be. And if you hit Control Shift and the button right above the number 6, it looks like a square with two lines next to it. Hold all three down at once. don't know what just happened. Hold all, hold all three down at once. Let's get my thing. And it will make this little crosshair thing, and you drag it to the exact image that you want. And this is what I want. And it'll automatically go down into your downloads. So then I go to my Jamboard. I go to my image. This time I'm going to just choose upload. And I'm going to select my files from my device. And I'll take my screenshot I just did, and I can put it in. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. And then I also want to have another image of the reaction to actually touching this. And then I'm going to connect it and add a few different things. So maybe I would want an image of, once the brain registers, ouch, that's hot. So I could go to image. I'll do a Google image search again. Ouch, that is hot. I don't know what I'm going to get. But, all right, I kind of like this one, so I'm going to choose that. So I can move that over here. And then you could always take the pen and connect it. But let's say I want the pen to be yellow. Okay, so now I can kind of connect it with this. I just want to kind of make sure that this kind of shows the loop. And then I want to kind of just show an arrow that this is like how the brain registers. And then okay, say for example, let me just get rid of, back to this mouse pointer. I want to add a text box explaining. And I could write something like, Grandpa touches the pan and it is hot. And you can kind of make a caption under each thing. Say I also want to add the thalamus in. So if I click on here, oops, I didn't want image, sorry. I want text box. Maybe I want to add a text box saying, I made it too big, the thalamus. And you can play around with it to get it exactly how you want it and position, you want it in the center. And maybe I want to add brainstem and stuff that's not on here. But that's how you would go about it. So this kind of, and then your Jamboard would be saved. And if I wanted to share it, you can get the link that way. I'll just hit done. You could also do an image screenshot of this whole thing, and you could put it into your Google slide, no problem. But this kind of is a general way that you can use Jamboard to create your project.